AJ, you're the best looking out of all of us. You'll be all right.
Nah,
Hey, what's good, ALPHAZ? This is OGA Nate, and I got
AJ, OGA AJ here.
You know, we need to just drop the OGA part. I think we just say our names. Hey, everybody, this is Nate.
Yeah, and this is AJ. You know, we don't have to say. I was gonna say Blitz too, but I'm like, this is not.
I think AJ's good.
Thing.
AJ's good, and then we just say this is OGA. Attaching it to the name gets OGA AJ.
We're a clan. We're a gaming clan, man.
What's going on, everybody? We are here with episode number 6, and we are covering KCON. And AJ's here with me today because he had quite adventurous day 3. Many of you might have seen the pictures that he posted. He had a lot of cute interactions with the girls at the meet and greet, and he wants to share a lot of those. And I think that there's a lot of good stories there that have not been told properly, so including Risu.
Oh yeah. I'm a witness of everything that happens, so I can say what's true and what's not true.
So AJ, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, I just came back from a concert in Orlando.
What concert was that you went to?
Baby Metal.
What?
Yeah, it's Baby Metal and Death Clock. It's called the whole tour is called Baby Clock or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I was just there for Baby Metal because it's
Is that your first time seeing
something
them?
you wouldn't want to miss. Yeah, first time seeing them. Like I recently just started listening to them and like just realized like they've been doing music for like over 10 years.
Yeah, they've been
in
the scene a while.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So I'm like, I shouldn't be missing any of this since they're like, you know, close by. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's Baby Metal. We're here for XG.
No, but I mean that's good
For
context. Sure. I mean AJ, yeah. You didn't have to go far for Baby Metal, but he went far for XG twice.
Twice.
AJ,
Actually, no, 3 times. You kind of New York.
Wait,
too.
yeah, we're kind of all right. My bad. Didn't mean to short you one. We didn't know you then, so
Exactly.
But AJ did fly out. He was with us at Headed to Clouds LA. But we're here today to talk about KCON. And you know, AJ flew out for KCON. You landed the day of day 1, right?
I flew in day 1. I showed up in the afternoon, shortly like after it opened. I was just there just to scope things out because I came with the same crew I went with in Clouds, New York. Well, the whole thing about me going to KCON in the first place, it wasn't even part of the plan, but because like money wise, so I was supposed to go to the Twice concert at Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really listen to Twice that much. Yeah. I enjoy the music.
Still would have been a good time. But
I would definitely enjoy KCON a lot more. I get more out of it. So I'm sorry, but I'll go a different day.
I'll be honest. We saw a lot of XG at KCON, more than I expected.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely. like obviously, you know, I don't want to down other groups, but like other groups were amazing, right? You know, Stray Kids did their thing, and all those boy groups, and
they had ITZY, they had NMIX, they had
ITZY, NMIX, Kepler was there. I mean, they were all awesome, but then obviously going there for XG, it's just like, but then we got a lot of XG action. Day 1, not so much. They didn't have much planned for day 1. Yeah, AJ scoped out, and then I headed over. I had some errands to run earlier in the day, and then I went over, and I was like, AJ, where you at? He's like, oh, we left at 8. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, I went to Little Tokyo.
Yeah.
I went to get some ramen.
You just traveled,
some really good stuff.
Yeah, it's not a short flight from Florida.
Yeah, there wasn't really much to do. You just go to the booth, you get your photo card, you get the postcard too, and no one was there, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go. Yeah,
but so I went, and there was it was just the booth, and it was kind of the same stuff that we experienced at Headed to Clouds LA, whereas like do the survey, right, and then you get a folder. I think you show that you're a member of the ALPHAZ app, you get the photo card or the postcard, I forget, and then. They added another layer this time, though. Freaking gacha game, right? Like, so if you
that was like a last minute thing. Man.
Did you buy any over there at KCON?
I purchased 3. I
don't want to talk about your RNG. We'll talk about. You didn't do that Monday, right? You did that, or you didn't do that the first day. You did that the second day.
I did 1 on the first day.
Yeah.
Just to see what kind of card I got, because I wasn't sure. Like, are these like signed cards gonna run out, right?
Yeah.
So I just went for one card.
Yeah.
And luckily I got a signed one.
Luckily I got. Shut the hell up, AJ. So you went for one. You only bought like one album. You didn't buy
one
a double album.
And I felt like I should get 2 more, just test my luck. But yeah, I got the cards I wanted.
You got how many signed cards did you get out of 3 pulls?
1 out of 3.
Okay.
1 out of 3. So I had a signed Hinata one.
Nice. That's a rare one.
Oh yeah.
Let's not talk about how many albums I bought and how many signed cards I got.
Oh.
We'll get to that actually. So day one, then they added a layer. If you bought, you pre-ordered the album while you were there, and it was a special link that was geofenced, so you could only open the link if you were actually at the venue. You show them that you bought it, they cross you off the list, and you put your hand inside this raffle box, right? And then all the cards are in these terribly wrapped purple foil with glue all over them things, right? And then when you open the card and you pull the card out, you get glue all over the card. That was terrible. All right, but there was signed cards, and there was the girl gang selfies, right, in the purple suits. So I tried my luck a bunch of times, but I made friends with the guy holding the raffle box. Me and him became good friends. By the end of the week,
has a huge smile on his face, man. Every time you pull something out, I think it's funny. He kind of knew that you're not going to get something out of it.
He was rooting for me at the same time, being very annoyed that I kept blaming him for my bad luck. But we'll get to that eventually, and then. So AJ left, and I was there hanging out at the XG Fan Experience. I didn't realize they closed so early. It was like 6 o'clock that the convention closed, so I was there until closing. Oh, yeah. I was just helping. Because people are going up there, and I could tell if they weren't sure what to do, because it's kind of like you have to scan QR codes, and people are standing in line, but there's really no line for anything. You just go and scan. Yeah. So I kind of helped facilitate getting people in the right direction. I'm pretty sure I sold like 3 or 4 albums. Simon, if you're watching, And I also met Amy and her friend Kayla there. Amy, we met at Hidden Clouds LA, and she got a bunch of cards. Kayla got a bunch of cards. I think Kayla didn't get a signed one until day 3. Amy, I think they both didn't get them until day 3. And then they both got it again in day 3. And I was like, I'm going to try again. And I didn't get it again. But anyways... But yeah, that was the just the day one. There really wasn't much going on. So we just did AJ left to eat, and I just hung out till closing, and then that was it. They weren't part of the show that day. So day 2 KCON is when we eventually met up with Chris. Chris showed up also. Day 2 was actually the night that they had the KCON main stage too. I got there. I think I got there before you and JoJo.
You did, because I was I came in. We tried to come in like a little bit earlier.
Oh, wait,
but the way the lines were set. Yeah. So the whole thing, I don't know who came up with the line, because like it would go all the way to the back of the crypto center, and there would be a second line too.
Yeah.
Coming around to the front of the crypto center. So it's like, it wasn't like, there wasn't a dedicated line. Everyone was just following who was like, who was there, and they're just slowly just walking in, right? So we went to the right side of the convention floor, and it went down like a couple blocks.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, because we were just like, I don't think we're gonna make it in time for like anything at that point. But we went in line, right? We went in front of the crypto center, and then
I got in.
The craziest thing happened that what me and JoJo saw on the way there.
Oh, yes.
From the back of the line, we saw there was like a little barricade, and there's like a little tour bus outside the crypto center, and there was a couple there's a couple females like out there just hanging out, and I took a glance and I saw like what they were wearing, and they were wearing like the lab attire, right? So I was pointing out to Joe, and I was like, is that the lab? And we are like, is that Sienna?
Yeah.
So we like passed by as we're going to like different loops of lines, and then when we got closer, we like try to like identify like which one is Sienna, right?
Yeah.
And she was wearing a hat, and we waved at her, and then we just like we just said hi.
Yeah.
And then we just went back in line. And then I turned around. I was like, Joe, do you want to go talk to her? Like, we're not going to go anywhere. So we we should just go talk to her and say what's up.
Yeah.
So we approached her again, and she went around the barricade and gave both of us like hugs.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and I was just like, thanking her for all the work that they've done for XG and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like so down to earth. She was so friendly.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even expecting like a hug from Sienna. Like it was crazy, right? And then we both took a picture, and yeah, we sent it to the whole Discord group like, hey, Sienna's here. You know what this means, right? They're gonna be on the stage. No one knows this but us, but yeah. Yeah, so that was something a little cool that came out of it.
Yeah.
And then we went back in line, and then I realized from day one how I entered. From day one, we were part of that long line that was in the back, and eventually made to the front. And then we realized like there were just people who just walked in from like the middle part of that entrance, where no one was like in line for it. They just casually just walk into like the security checkpoint, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Let's just go there and just walk in like we know where we're going. And next thing you know, we skip like so many people in line that there's like no reason why it should take that long. But yeah, we just walked in.
I think
we
that's
saved
just
like about 4 hours.
That's just like the nature of like you go someplace and you see a line and then you're so far from the front and you just ask people what they're in line for and they're like, we're in line to get in, but nobody knows it. Because I got in, you were probably at the place like an hour before I was. I pull up at like 11:30 and I get inside by like 11:35.
Yeah, because you parked all the way in the South Hall like parking garage.
Yeah, because it's the only official convention parking lot open. But there was a back entrance, and I was super sneaky. I was like, dude, we're going to use this day 3. But then there's a back entrance in the South Hall, right? And then you enter from the South Hall parking lot, and then you go into South Hall, and then you walk up, and then you go to the bridge to take you to the West Hall, I think is where the convention was at. And then there's one security checkpoint there, and it's like completely empty. And it's like, that's it. And I just walked in, and I walked up to the XG booth. I checked Twitter, and I just missed the girls, dude.
Yeah. And he texted us too. He's like, hey, just go to Sao. I'm like,
but then like it worked out for you. You get to meet Sienna.
Yeah.
And one thing I'll say, if people are wearing the lab gear, they better be dancers. It's not like wearing a Dodgers jersey, like you can't just casually wear lab gear. You got to be dancers. So. But that was cool that you met her. I was surprised to find out that she was only 22 years old.
I said the same thing.
I know. I learned it from you.
Yeah, she had like a huge like resume of like working with like BTS and Justin Bieber and all these other like well-known artists and stuff. And I was like, dang, because she holds herself pretty well. Like she's like really like
she started when she was like 12 or something. Jesus.
Yeah, like a huge like professional.
Yeah,
and she's like only a year older than like Jesus. It's like crazy,
right? And it's like someone that the girls respect and look up to, and they like. They've done their her choreo and the lab choreo like as trainees and cover dances, and then like she's only a year older than Jesus.
Yeah, she's like literally like a big sister.
Her resume is huge for being 20 years old.
Yeah,
Sienna's it's amazing that Simon brought her along to help with XG and help choreo a lot of stuff, and even brought them along for like Head in the Clouds and KCON. It's just I was sick.
Yeah, everything after that, we just went inside the convention floor. I think all of us just went straight to the booth once we entered the.
There was nothing. I mean,
entrance, exactly.
So all right, like just to give some context, what else was in KCON? Okay, there was the major skincare store, Olive something. I don't know, but there was the skincare store. Then there was like other Korean brand stuff selling things. There was a Zykers booth. There was what is the Maeve? The
Nave?
The 3D dudes?
I forgot the name.
I watched them on the KCON stage.
Oh yeah, me too.
That was weird.
It's interesting. It was like
there's nobody there, but they're there.
There's no one on the stage, but they're actually there.
Then they're interacting with the fans and everything, but it's just like you look in the stage, there's nobody there, but you look at the screen behind it, and like it was cool, but I guess it's the future. Yeah, Zyker, like I guess the different groups had their own little booths, and then XG's was right next to the convention stage, conveniently for day 3 because that's where they were performing. But yeah, when I got in, I just missed the girls at the booth, but I met up with Amy again, and she got to see the girls. She strolled up right when they were there, and they signed their selfies at the booth. But then maybe I'll post it in the chat, not the chat. What is this, Twitch? Maybe I'll post it here. It's the sign that Amy had, which was really cool. It's like all their baby pictures and everything. And the girls saw it and recognized it and gave her a wave. But then Kayla missed the girls also. She showed up late as well. I guess and then you came in shortly after, right? Because that was after thing. And then we waited around for a while for Chris. Chris took a sweet ass time, dude.
Yeah, so we came in and like we like surprised you from behind. We were just hanging out while you're like in line for something. And yeah, that's when you started meeting up with everyone. Chris was on his way still. And then, you know, you saw him from a distance with like, you know, he's wearing his jersey all tucked in with shorts.
I think I have a picture of that. We'll post that here too.
You should show it. It was the funniest thing because I called it. I'm like, Nate, look at Chris, man. And he has like a squirrel on top of his hat. Like it's like
it's
very.
You guys know the squirrel we're talking about because that's the one. But he had issues getting through security with that the first day.
Yeah, day 3 was hilarious. So I'll talk about that when that time comes.
But it's like when he came in, because you look at it and he's carrying this thing and it looks so real, right? And he has it on his head or whatever, and it's just like security. Apparently, like he told us, but like security saw him. It's like, what the heck? He's like, no, it's a stuffed one. It's for one of the girls. Blah 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 blah. And it's just like the security just doesn't know what to do with it. They let him in with it, but it's like it looks so real. Yeah,
there was a couple of security guards actually they actually stopped him. He's like, whoa, you can't do that here. And then Chris is like, he's like, it's fake. and I saw the dude as he just didn't process what was going on. And then Chris walked away. And as I'm passing by, the dude was like hysterically laughing. Like, this is the most ridiculous thing I have to like deal with.
He's like, these KCONers, man.
I don't think anybody KCON would do something like that.
No,
like,
just Chris.
Just Chris.
Just get a taxidermy level stuff. I don't even know where he got it. I hope it wasn't from Etsy.
He said it was from Target.
Was it? They don't sell that at Target, do they?
Not in the toy section.
No.
It's like one of those like
the
you know
hunter,
when you like sell when you sell like the lawn mowns and stuff. Yeah.
Oh man. So that started the day. And I guess all right, so let's talk about the XG collector dude that we met. But I think to get to that story, I need to discuss how many albums I bought and my luck.
Because that story happened shortly after.
Over the course of 3 days, I bought. I looked at my credit card statement after, like a couple weeks after, because I didn't want to see it right away. I think I bought an additional 10 albums. So mind you, at this point, I already ordered 8 albums.
Yeah.
But over the course of 3 days, I ordered 10 albums, and not just one album, mind you. This is that X and G version album, so it's actually 20 albums. But out of 20 card pulls, right? Mind you, AJ pulled 3 and got 1 signed Hinata. Out of the 10 or 20 cards I pulled, I got 1 Hinata that I ended up trading for Maya. So out of the 20, I got 1. Chris had Michelle. Michelle was with us too. Michelle's Chris's best friend. Chris had the
first 2 cards.
Pull 2 cards, right? And she puts her hand in. She pulls out 1 card and then gets another card was stuck to another card, and she grabbed that one. She opens the first one, signed Harvey. She opens the second one, signed Harvey. It's like, what the
Yeah, when that happens, I think like everyone in the booth was like, every time they open something, they get like a signed card and they would freak out.
Yeah.
And I think I see like Nate like just looking at everyone's excitement of getting a signed card. That's the gacha thing, man.
And it's like, it could be me. It's kind of like, in Las Vegas when you go and you're walking by the slots and you're ding, 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 ding. And then it just goes in your head that you can win. Like, I just see people pulling cards left and right. I'm like, I can do this. A lot of dollars later, it only happened once, but I'm happy with my card. Unfortunately, I don't know. So like I collected all 7 of the girls. Some time between the first day or the second day and the third day, I lost my set of cards.
What?
I don't know if it's in my car. I know it's definitely not in my car. I don't know if it's at my parents' house or what. Oh, well, I still have my signed card, but yeah, I'm missing 7. Unfortunate. Missing 8, actually, but whatever. So yeah, I spent a lot of money on cards, but there was a guy there that we walked into and he was super cool. And he had the biggest stack of the purple envelopes.
He had like 40.
He had 40. He bought 20 albums on the spot.
Yeah.
Right. This dude, incredible. And we were talking to him. I was like, damn, man, how many albums did you buy? Oh, yeah, just 20 albums of the X and G. So he had 40 cards. I was like, how many albums, or like how many shooting, like he said he bought like 100 some Shooting Star albums, or like 80 something Shooting Star albums. For New DNA, he was already up past 100 because there was the raffle tickets for the virtual meet and greet and stuff that he was buying them for. But he had his binder that he showed us and let us flip through, which is super cool because that binder is worth like $1 billion at this point. I'm pretty sure.
It really is. The most expensive thing in that convention floor.
The most expensive thing inside the entire convention was this dude's XG collection binder. But he let us flip through it. And it's pretty extensive because not only are they like Shooting Star collection, obviously the collection that he made there, but there was a bunch of broadcast collections too, which means that he's been going to shows in South Korea and his collection was crazy, dude. Crazy. By the end of the 3 days, he had a signed card from all 7 members.
All 7.
All 7. I could only pull 1. This dude had all 7, man. He actually had 10 signed cards.
10 signed cards.
He had a couple extras, but he actually collected all 7. Crazy.
And he was a really kind dude too, because he gave Joe like a signed Chisa card too.
Yes.
Like out of nowhere. It was like she's like, here we go.
I don't know if Chisa signed that or he signed that.
It had signatures on it.
No, and the thing it said thank you for supporting XG. It was what it right?
I'm pretty sure she signed it. I'm gonna believe she did.
But I don't know if it's like something he intended to give away and he was like, thank you for supporting XG. Because at the time, but then like when I thought about it, I was like, maybe not. But still, the gesture was still amazing.
Really cool guy.
It was I think it was a broadcast card too. So it's not like a common Chisa card. It was a pretty rare one. But he gave that unprompted and dude's just a rock star, man.
Yeah.
So another thing that happened day 2 was XG did a Kiss FM interview, and that stage was actually outside, so we actually had to leave. AJ, do you want to speak on that experience?
Yeah. So we went out there, and I think before XG, it was ATs.
Yes,
ATs was out there, so we were trying to get as close as we can.
Yeah.
So we were like on the right side. I saw Nate in the back because he's tall, so he doesn't really have to block anybody's view, right?
You know what? I realized, by the way, that I should stop standing far from you because you keep taking pictures of my face. If I stand with you, that doesn't.
It's funny. Like it's more of like the zoom in pictures from a distance. But you would catch it and then you would smile. I'm like, all right, so I have like 5 different emotions from that picture. Yeah, so it was ATs that was up there, or maybe it was Stray Kids. It was one of those two.
One of the boy groups.
One of the boy groups. Like there were so many people up there already. If you love
boy groups, like don't get us wrong, we're amazing. Just don't know them like that. Anyways,
I love their songs though. They're good.
They're good.
They're really good.
Yes.
But yeah, we couldn't get to the front. We got a little closer once the boy group like left and stuff, and then the girls came up on stage and. It was so many like sights of like the girls just like looking at our direction because we were still wearing like the 3 Meals hat.
Yeah.
And we were just waving at them and we were cheering. The thing about like being in like huge crowds full of like XG fans is that like even before they show up, we would just chant.
Yes.
XG like
yeah.
Everywhere, even from like Hand of Clouds, like New York and LA, we would just chant before them. So they know like the fans are there. For them.
I mean, they were in so there's the stage and they were like getting prepped in the trailer right now. So when we were going off of those chants, they heard it. They were just like,
they definitely heard it.
They know we're getting them hype when they come out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So the girls are out there. They're just looking around, looking for all the ALPHAZ and stuff. And she saw us, and a couple people, a couple of the members saw us. I think Chisa saw us. She made like a really funny face. I took a picture of that too. Hinata, Maya saw it, and then Juria, like I'm pretty sure Juria saw a hand with a squirrel in the air. But I'm pretty sure because he did everything he could to get like that squirrel like noticed.
Only Chris.
Only Chris.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that long of an interview.
No.
The guy was just the guy, what's his name, Jojo? Kiss FM.
Sure.
Yeah, the MC
from Kiss FM. Yeah.
Yeah, I just gave him like a short interview, and each of the girls spoke, and then it just happened so fast they left.
I'll tell you what though, that I wasn't happy about.
What?
Their DJ did not play any XG music before they came out. He was playing New Jeans. Come on, bro.
Oh,
you have
yeah,
XG. You have XG. I mean, I get it. New Jeans was great, but you have the girls coming out. Like, come on, play play Girl Gang something, man. Get us hype. You know, we've been staying there to see the girls, man. Play an XG track. No. But I mean, Kiss FM plays XG music. That's why I was just like, I expected it because they play XG on the radio.
Yeah. But
he did not play XG at the stage. It's okay. I forgive him. I forgive you if you so happen to watch it. But yeah,
after the whole thing. Yeah. After the whole thing, like we all like left, and then one of our members, one of our friends, a fellow reactor, Nick, he saw Simon pass by through there's like a small little like alleyway where you can like see who's like going through towards the tour bus and stuff. Yeah. So Simon actually came out, and because Nick, he had a fan sign, like a custom fan of Hinata. And he went to check it out, took a picture, and talked to him for a bit. And no one really knew. It was just him and the friend that he was with. And the picture that he posted, I just saw I saw myself in that picture just passing by right behind him. I'm like, that happened really fast because he told me that he met Simon. Yeah. As soon as it happened, then he disappeared. Yeah. So I missed my first sighting of I
pointed
Simon.
Nick in the direction of Simon because I almost killed Simon that day. Because true story. No, I killed him, but the girls finished, right? And the corner of the street where they get into the van and leave. I turned around to run there, and then Simon was 2 feet behind me, and I almost knocked him out. I was like, oh shit, oh my bad, Simon. Hey, what's going on again? At this point, he's already seen me at. No, we didn't see him at ALPHAZ, but he's already seen me at the Angels game, right? And we talked there for a little bit. And here, I almost run him over, and then I'm like, oh hey, Simon, and then it was like, hey, and then just a small exchange, and I just said to him, because at this point we had a hurricane coming to Los Angeles. That these Florida kids were like, you guys are freaking, hysterical. But this never happens, AJ, relax, okay? So it's a big deal to us. But I was talking to Simon, I was like, hey, Simon, man, are you guys gonna, be able to leave on time because of the hurricane coming? I was like, you're not worried about that? And Simon just looked at me, he's like, no problem. All right, man, nice meeting you. I'll talk to you later, Simon. All right, and he just laughed, and then I went off to try and see the girls, and then I ran into Nick. I was like, "Hey, Nick, Simon's over there. I'm gonna go look at the girl." And then I think at that point is when he went to talk to Simon. But I know you've been wanting to at least meet the dude, right? So
yeah, one day you maybe in Abu Dhabi, we'll see.
You were
there was throughout the whole weekend there was 3 chances I could have met him. Yeah, but it was just. I was just not in the right place at the right time.
I mean, you meet him when you meet him. He's if you guys see Simon, he's super accessible, really, really humble dude. Always appreciative of all the support everybody gives the girls. And if you recognize Simon, you're obviously a big fan of the girls, right? He knows that. So, you'll get your chance. Maybe in Japan. Well, I don't know. Japan's gonna be crazy.
Japan or Abu Dhabi, we'll see.
All right, and so that was the Kiss FM stage, and after that, right, I think we kind of just dispersed.
Yeah, dispersed.
Right.
And until the show. So
yeah.
So we all got tickets to the suite. which is like 400 level and stuff. Originally, I wasn't gonna go, but since XG was there, like we weren't really expecting them to just do an actual like 2-song performance alongside the other groups. It was like a special stage, you know?
Yeah.
Like throughout that lineup, like all the people have like like the meet and greets and the showcase like symbols on it, and then just XG, just a special
stage.
So what does that mean, right?
Yeah. But then they tweeted actually earlier that day.
Yeah.
That it was like opening and then special stage, but it was still so cryptic. Like we couldn't really decipher what they were doing right at that point.
Right.
But we got a lot more than we bargained for. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it was a lot cheaper than being down there.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that like the suite that we went up to, it was so high up. And I've never been to a suite too, so I was like, I'm really glad that we actually got it.
Yeah.
Instead of being surrounded with a bunch of people screaming, like
yes,
throughout the whole.
It was still pretty loud in the suite, though.
Yeah, it was a small like sound box and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Compared to like being in the the lower bowl.
Yeah.
But it was nice because it was more like we were able to just walk around and stuff and bring in food and drinks and stuff and just like watch it from a distance.
Enjoy the show. Even though they're like tiny, but we had the screens and stuff, right? But I mean, we got to think AJ's experience with, I mean, mine as well, watching XG at this point, we're like standing for hours, right?
Yeah, I was going to stand in the sun.
Amongst the sea of people, right? Like in the sun, like at least AJ's was in LA. LA, like I kind of just like chilled my way into the group, but you know, AJ was there from freaking doors open till
6.
Well, I mean, we were you were actually there before doors open and like at
7 a.m. 7 a.m. So 5 hours even before it even opened. So
right,
just imagine all of like the vitamin D from the sun. Just like that was into my skin.
Sunburnt like, for it.
I was sunburnt. I still have the sun. I had like the farmer's tan. It's like you can't get rid of it. As much as I tried.
So when it's like, oh, we're doing a suite, you know, it's like, oh yes. But it was a great, like it was a good view. Chris was bummed because Chris was responsible for getting the suite for us, but because it was the back of the stage, not the front of the stage, but they still performed one of the songs facing us, which was still good. But I had to cheer Chris up. I was like, it's all right, man. Don't worry about it. You know, it's still going to be fun. And Chris is like sulking. He's like, we're looking at their backs. What? he was, dude. He was pretty upset. I was like, I had to cheer him up, man. But
you can't really tell like which one was to the front and the back because they like all the groups were performing like all around and stuff, like both sides.
Yeah. But like, you know, their choreo has a main direction, especially we were like for their opening. Well, we'll get to they're opening their 2021 cover and their little dance performance after that was all front facing. But we watched on the screen and being there, like just
being there live was just amazing.
Amazing. Like, the crowd's
when
loud.
I heard this song.
Yes. XG's name shows up, the crowd goes crazy. Right.
Yeah.
The lights turn off. And then the song, I'm the best. Right.
Yeah. It starts with like back to the basics, right? And then XG. And then the first like couple notes you hear and from the song, like it just started to click to like everyone's heads. Like when I first heard it, I was like, there's no way like they're doing this song. Because it's like the most perfect song for them to like cover too. Yeah. When that happened, I was mind blown. Me and Joe were like, holy crap. Like they're really doing this. But I wasn't really listening to like the actual like lyrics and stuff, you know, until like later on, we were like, wait, this is their own like rendition of it. This is just not a complete cover. This is XG, you know, doing what they always do best, which is basically they would pay homage to, you know, the artists before them and put their own spin into it. Yeah. And it was like the most amazing cover ever.
There was a lot of references to, you know, previous lyrics. And then the dance portion at the end when they like chopped and screwed it or whatever it was, like to the song. Oh, it was so sick.
But like the best opener.
I had to rewatch it obviously because it's like you said, like I'm not catching the lyrics while we're there. We're just like, you know, I was in my feels. I'm pretty sure I heard JoJo yelling behind me, right?
Yeah, that was me too.
And then just the crowd just going crazy. Right. And that was I knew they were opening. We didn't know what they were opening with, and that was just mind blowing. Right. Yeah. So that the crowd was really loud for XG.
Yeah.
But then the boy groups coming.
Boy groups and everything.
And you know what? I don't think it's that there's more people yelling for the boy groups. I just think that people that are yelling for the boy groups operate at a much higher decibel level.
Higher my ears. Like I was told, like going to live events, right? You should wear like ear protection and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I never really needed them until being inside the crypto arena, being surrounded with like a bunch of noises happening like all at once, right? So I had to step back every time like the boy group performs and just like kind of covered my ears because I couldn't take it. It was really hype though. It was hype. I enjoyed it. And I couldn't be.
I didn't want to like, they're just there to enjoy their show. So I didn't want to be like, hey man, cut it down. I'm trying to, because I'm not there for them. They're there for them. Right. So I wanted to respect that. But boy, it was loud. Thank God the suite had the back section.
Exactly. And Wi-Fi too.
And Wi-Fi worked back there too. Yeah. But that was something to experience because I would never go to like a Stray Kids concert or any other boy group for that matter, or maybe BTS at some point in my life when they come back. Mm-hmm. But that was an experience just to hear how loud they get. Like I couldn't even hear the music when the boy groups are on. It was just
it's just so many noises.
I appreciate the people in our suite that were there for them. Like they're having a great time. So I was happy.
Everyone was there. They got what they wanted.
Yeah. So, but then XG came back out again.
Yeah, like I think like 30 minutes later or 40 minutes later.
Yeah.
So they got introduced by Zero Base One.
Yeah.
And they had like a whole like monologue before they came up, and they talked about like, these are the new rising super rookies.
Yes,
they call them super rookies, which is okay. It's
I mean, they'd still technically like if they were just any other group, they'd still be considered a rookie group.
Yeah, super. It's like a rookie group saying that there's another super. Rookie
group. Is that? I didn't know. I don't know Zero Base One.
I'm pretty sure they're like brand newish too. Well, not brand newish, but they're also like recently debuted and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, they introduced them like they're gonna change like the way the influence of like K-pop is.
Yeah.
Like so it was like showing respect to actually being there. It's just not because they're a global group, but they still carry the whole embodiment of what a K-pop type group
I mean, let's be real.
Entry light group is.
Let's be real. They're at KCON twice.
Yeah, twice. Like you can't really tell
they're at KCON twice. They did 2 shows. They did an opening first show, and then they did Convention Stage. At some point, are you promoting K? I'm not going down this route. But yes, we're not going down this. Rewind. But yeah, so Zero Base One introduced XG.
Yeah, it was a really good statement. It was just a nice thing to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they came in and they opened up with TGIF. And you see the lab with the lab. We knew it was coming.
Yeah. And I was actually happy that we had the top down view for that because that's when we could see the lab do the mark out the stage, right? When they did the runways.
Yeah, the human runway.
That was so sick.
That was so clever.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was really good. And then looking back like at the video and stuff, you can see like how a live show should be shot in America.
Yeah.
Compared to what we saw in Hand of Clouds, you know. Like they know where to look for.
Yeah.
So it was really good.
They probably did camera rehearsal during their sound check. That's why.
Yeah.
Because when I was like peering over the fence at the sound check at Hand of Clouds, they only had the long lens on them, and they're like, "We could shoot this, no problem. Don't even worry about it."
Yeah.
And the girls came out, and they were just lost in the sauce the entire time.
Yeah, there was no rehearsals. You have to like know like the song and who is singing to focus on which artist is. Yeah. But when it was in Hand of Clouds, the lab was there. So and then they're like mixed up with. With the girls, and they're they all dance really good, so you can't really tell like who to focus on.
They did their best.
They did their best.
But honestly, like that's true. I can't fault them too much though, because it's 3 long days. Those cameramen, or 2 long days.
3 long days, and there wasn't that much groups to actually like.
Yeah, a lot of them were like kind of smallish or like
solo artists for the most part.
So it's just like actually comes out and they're just like, and it's like the second day, and it's like 4 hours into the day, and they're just like, oh, this freaking group's here.
just try your best.
just try
your best.
So I mean, yeah, we had the benefit of the doubt. I mean, we had the benefit of watching it live too. But yeah, for the people that only got to experience it watching the live stream, yeah, they got gypped, but
yeah,
they still got the vibe. Yeah, the camera work for KCON LA was significantly better. So TGIF happened, and then the girls did their quick like, "Hi, we're XG," and blah blah blah, blah, right? And then Girl Gang was performed, and facing us this time, thankfully.
Yeah.
So chair choreo again, amazing, stellar. I know people were upset that they didn't do like Shooting Star or thing, but obviously they're promoting like their new album right now. But they did those songs the next day because
next day
Convention Stage was.
We were crazy. But yeah, going back to those two performances, the back-to-back performances, we were in the suite. We were the only ones singing out loud and stuff. Me and Joe were saying every single word, and then I hear Chris and I hear you.
Yeah,
it was fun. We had our fun inside our little booths.
Yeah, yeah. I was singing those two, and like so. Let's talk a little bit about this because I'm still upset. So Chris and I shot fan cams of this.
Yeah,
and we have the same POV. And Chris uploaded to his YouTube channel. I uploaded to my YouTube channel. I got 2 copyright strikes from the KCON people, and they took down my 2 fan cams from like 9,000 feet in the air, and the girls are like literally like 1 centimeter tall on my thing, and I got to take that. And then Chris's video is still up, and he's got nothing, man. Nothing. I'm sitting on 2 strikes. 1 more strike, I'm done. It's crazy.
Didn't you say like it's because you caught like the screen?
We're assuming it's the screen, but then like Chris caught the same screen too, man. Take his stuff down too. No, don't. It's fine. Like because Chris's channel, he's not monetized. Right? I think it's because but like I was even monetizing the videos.
Yeah,
Jesus. And there's other fan cams too.
It was like a bird eye.
I don't know. But yeah, so in case you know, we have 2 copyright strikes. 1 more, the channel gets deleted. Goodbye.
Gotta be super
careful.
We're
being really strict with what we're uploading. In case you didn't notice, there's a lot of stuff for free on Patreon that we can't post on YouTube. So check that out. Link in the description.
Yep.
Anything else from day 2? Oh, wait, there is still stuff. Go ahead. I know what you want to talk about.
Yeah, so after, listening to all the other groups following after, because Kepler was good too. And AT showed up. They're also doing really good too. And then like the whole thing at the end of each show, they all wrap up. All the groups go on stage, and they started waving to all the fans and stuff, and they're all just celebrating. And we got to see we got to see Kepler and XG just in close proximity to each other. Yeah, and then we all captured a special moment where one of the members of Kepler was like, "Hey, you should." She came up to Hikaru and was like, "Hey, you should go up to them and see what's up." I'm pretty sure they met before, but just sharing the same stage together was just like a very like wholesome thing to see. Yeah, and it was
because definitely if they're like pictures. in the hallways, they're like, "Oh my god," blah, blah, blah. But then like for them to be on the stage together was so cool to watch. Amy was actually in a very good spot. She was lower bowl, and she had a video, and she sent me a screenshot of a moment where Amy was holding up an XG sign and Kepler and Hikaru, and she was with Chisa. Were giving her both of them were giving her like thumbs up, and it was the cutest thing ever because she's holding up an XG sign. She's like, but
And she was also throwing up like the ALPHAZ. Like, sign too. And, like she's still XG.
Yeah, she's still part of the family. She's doing big things for Kepler, but it was awesome. That was worth staying till the end for.
Yeah, and then after the whole thing ended, we all left, and then later on, I think it was like an hour later, someone posted on Twitter, of Simon and XG and the crew just walking past the booth that we were just in, like in the same floor. Yeah, and they're on their way to meet a very special person, right? But if we stayed for like a little bit, like a little bit, like 10 minutes after, we would have ran into him again, So it was like that was like my second like encounter that I missed,
Yeah.
But it was like, dang.
Yeah.
It just so happens like they would be on the same floor.
Yeah. Where they were going was at the time it was called the Hyde Lounge.
Yeah.
Not Hybe. Hyde. HYBE. I don't think any affiliation with Hybe. It's just what the place is called. And the vice chairwoman of CJ Group, wherever, big entertainment conglomerate in South Korea, who manages or is like owns KCON. They went to go see her there. And yes, we were on the same floor our suite was. And yes, they passed by. But day 3 happened.
Yeah, day
You'll
3.
be all right. Obviously, at the time, you're like, we missed the girls. But
yeah. No, I wasn't like upset or anything. It was just one of those things like, man.
Yeah. Pretty close encounter.
But yeah, day 3, also known as Hurricane Day.
Hurricane Day.
So if people didn't know, Hurricane, what was it, Dahlia?
Hillary.
Get
our
Dahlia
hurricane name right, all right? Damn, man. Jeez, we have one hurricane. You can't get the name right?
No, because we just had one that's passed.
I know. You guys have a hurricane every week, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, Hillary,
yes,
was in the trajectory of, passing down Southern California towards like Vegas and stuff.
Yeah.
It was funny because, hearing the news and all that, it was like a huge like state of emergency type of thing.
It was, dude. Stop laughing at a hurricane, all right?
Yeah. Me and Chris, we're like veterans to this stuff. So we know like what these levels mean to us. So when they were saying like, oh, it's gonna be a category 1 to 2, and then the city is in panic and stuff, it made sense to me because you guys don't really get hurricanes. You guys get like earthquakes and like crazy fires and stuff, right? So you can, I was like trying to think like maybe I won't be able to fly out on Monday because the city is just not safe for any type of flooding and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. It was a legitimate concern. There were parts that flooded, just not LA. I thought it was going to be worse in downtown. It rained a lot, but there was no flooding.
There was no high winds, just no flooding.
No high winds. It honestly felt like another shower.
Yeah. All of the events that were outdoor, like baseball and stuff, they're all like canceled and stuff.
Yeah.
But KCON, we're still running the show.
Those workers did not look thrilled that we decided to come still.
You're hoping everything is canceled, but no. But yeah, so we got there early. Not way too early, but because
we tried to use my back entrance.
We tried to use the back entrance because it was like a secret thing.
I was saving that for the important day 3, right?
Yeah, and then the tweet.
And then they tweeted out, "Hey, because of the hurt," and I wasn't really upset because they're trying to bring people inside. But because there's more space, indoor space on the South Hall, because they use the South Hall lobby to keep people stowed out of the rain. But they're like, yeah, use the South Hall entrance. I'm like, that was my secret entrance, man. Well, we showed up early, right? And they put us, in a pretty good spot in the line, and they brought everybody inside and lined everybody up. But there was a couple things I want to touch on here. First of all, there was a lot of hate going on to these people in line at KCON on Twitter. Unwarranted, like people acting like they were spewing hate towards them in the defense that they were going to do something terrible, like it was going to be like a disaster or something. That was not the case. All right, KCON went by fine. People stayed in line. KCON had security by the people that were in line. Like every couple 100 feet, there was a security guard or whatever. Right, just making sure everything was kosher. Everything was fine. There was a lot of things said on Twitter about these people online. Like, did they smell terrible? No, right? Well, if you've gone to a gaming convention, like what terrible smells like. They were fine. All right, people need to relax. And secondly, kudos to the staff on making adjustments day 3 and bringing everybody inside. Even though it was like a light rain at that point, but we didn't know what to expect, so KCON and the convention staff, made adjustments to move the security checkpoint into the South Hall lobby and bring everybody inside in line instead of keeping them outside in the hurricane, because God knows what would have happened if somebody got hurt or swept away by flood water.
Yeah. Yeah. And they handled it pretty well. They had a whole system. You know, the people who came in early were in the middle. The people who were camped out for the show, mainly for the show, were on the right side. And then the meet and greet people were on the left side. So they took notice on who was there first.
Honestly, stellar job on them. You know, everybody got in when they were kind of supposed to. So
me, and Joe, we went up all the way to the merch line and stuff. There were still like delays too. Remember when we were going there? Yes. They were like stopping the lines, making everyone go to a single file line and stuff. And we're like, man,
they stopped
because we already knew
Joe
Chris
for a
was
camera.
gonna be in the line already. Yeah,
they stopped Joe for a camera. I'm like, dude, we were here yesterday with this. Stop. Don't be.
Day one, there's a dude who had a whole live stream set up with a backpack.
But then like he doesn't have like lenses crazy. Attached like our camera. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that they were worried about. I don't think the live stream setup was that big of a deal, but like we got in no problems the first 2 days. But then I was like, and then his friend was like, it's not worth it, dude. Let's just let it. Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah, they
gave me crap about my mini like stick to hold the camera. Because they thought it was like a selfie stick. I was like, dude, this thing doesn't extend. It's like 4 inches, bro. Relax. Yeah. But yeah, they gave Joe crap. I was like, dude, we were in here yesterday with this stuff. Don't worry about it. And then so they let Joe in and let me in, and yeah, you guys were able to get into the merch line first 30.
Yeah, luckily we were in like the 20th to 30th spot, so we made it just in time.
Yeah. So you secured your spot in the meet and greet. So you were able to like. I opted to just go straight to a thing because one, I didn't want to spend $100, and two, from the looks, when I looked at it, it looked like it was pretty close to 30 anyway. So I didn't want to like stand there, get told no, or whatever. So I just went straight to the line to get inside. So I went to the meet and greet area to camp out. I think, what was the group that was there? Just B, right? Just that B. Comes out before XG. I got to meet a bunch of their fans, and they're cool people. But so while I was there, AJ, Chris, you guys got to like chase down XG as they did the girls' education interview, right? And everything. So I didn't get to experience any of that, but AJ, please, enlighten me. What happened day 3, brother?
Oh, man. Crazy. All right. So we were just freely roaming around. We went to the booth and stuff. We got another card and started to meet up with some of the people, right? And then someone told us that actually is gonna go from where the booth is at, like basically the back of the convention, towards the Cube. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the little CJ Cube interview place.
Yeah.
So we had a good spot. The whole thing with that one, we planned this out before going to KCON.
Yeah.
Joe, she told me that she's gonna come in KCON wearing the Chisa Muscle Mother shirt, right?
Yeah.
And it was the image like designed by Kaz XG. Shout out to Kaz. It's a super funny picture of Chisa when she was working out, using like the Instagram filter. And we had that print out on the shirt. And I told her, like, you know what? Since we're wearing this, if Chisa notices us, we're gonna flex for her, and we'll see what will come out of it.
Yeah.
So that was the goal. That was the goal throughout the whole time. And we met up with Kayla, and she came in with her Chisa shirt, and she brought out the Chisa dollars, and she had like an envelope full of them.
Yeah.
And she was just handing out to everyone who wants in. So her mission was to hand them out and make sure she at least gets one.
Yeah.
We found a good spot that's like pretty close to where they're supposed to go, and yeah, as the girls were going by, all security was like telling us to back up and stuff. And as they were walking in, we got to see, I think the first one there was Hinata, and then following after that, it was Chisa and Jurin. And she took a quick glance on us on the way there, and she was just shocked. So first, that was like their first like thing that like she noticed on the way entering there. And then afterwards, we were preparing to find a good spot where they make their exit. And across from us, from the line, it was Chris. He had his he had his phone out, holding a squirrel like this. It's funny because the way he's holding it, it's like a real thing.
I don't know why he holds it like that. I did notice that too. Like he would like cradle it like a thing, like just hold it by the neck, dude. Like
hold it like a neck, or just hold it like that. Like So I'm pretty sure, they saw that too.
Yeah.
Right. So when they
mind
went
you,
to
mind you, at this point, Judy has seen Chris with this very real looking squirrel 2 times now. Yeah. Right. This is important for later on in the episode.
Important for later on.
And the way he's holding it is very like. But all right, AJ, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So when they were exiting, XG started going towards the back of the convention center, and we saw Chisa and telling Jurin. Jurin was ahead of her, and she grabbed Jurin, and it was like, "Hey!" She was like pointing out her shirts. She was pointing out. She was like, "Hey, look at the shirt! Look at the shirt!" And then she was like, Jiren was shocked and stuff. And then Chisa was like, just give me a thumbs up. She looked at me and Joe with thumbs up. And we were like, flex, 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 flex. And she turns around and she did the whole like muscle memory flex. And yeah, the rest is history after that. And then Kayla, she managed to get Chisa to get one of the Chisa dollars. So she was holding on to it. She was in the line ahead of us. So she got the dollar first before they came up to us.
Muscle Mother goes down in history. It's a thing now, right?
It's a
like
thing.
You said. So the meet and greet, I actually I knew my game plan going in, not being in the barricade, because on the right, like the barricade just goes right around. Like initially when this meet and greet thing was announced, I thought it was kind of like a more of an intimate thing. Like they take you to like the meet and greet room where they have the meet and greet stuff, and yeah, you had like they would in Korea where they cycle fans up, and it's like the high touch, I guess is what KCON calls it. But it was nothing like that at all. It was like you said, it was like a penned area, no more than like, I don't know, like 20 feet across, like 15 feet back. And, the girls are on like a stage that's like propped up by like 6 inches. There's a table there.
Yeah, there's a panel, basically.
And you guys, they originally brought out seats for them, or they were like, I guess they were like, we don't need seats. So they pulled the seats out, right? And then so within the penned area is you guys, the 30 winners, and you guys are ordered by the number you guys were, first. Right? Mm-hmm. My plan was to be on like the right side, and knowing how the girls have stood in order for a while now, it seems, is like Harvey's always on the far left, Maya's always on the far right, so I was banking on being on Maya's side, being a fan of Team C, and Maya being my leader of Team C. So I gotta be pretty close to Maya. We had a cute little interaction. Obviously the head heart, like all the signs or whatever. But you guys, I was not in the vicinity of Risu-gate, as we've coined it in OGA. But you guys over there had a whole different thing going on. So AJ, please.
All right. So the way the 30 people who were lined up, it goes by three rows, right? By order of who gets there first. So we were within the second row to the left. We're in the far left side. So the first thing that they get to see is Chris and the squirrel. So as they started coming through, Chris was in the far left, so he made sure like he gets seen.
Yeah.
Right?
Because Chris is short, mind you, so he had to he couldn't stay in the second row. He had to get all the way to the side. But anyways, continue.
But yeah, so as the girl's coming in, as soon as Julia comes in, the first thing she sees from that line is Chris with the squirrel, and he was already trying to hand it over, and he had the phone in his hands because he just wanted the footage of her taking the squirrel, but she didn't take it. She was shocked that he made it in line with the squirrel.
Yeah,
first of all, and it looked like she wanted to take it. But I guess she was being careful. She wasn't sure if she could just take something right from the jump.
Yeah.
So she had the gesture oh, I want it, but I can't have it. So she saw it. It was super funny. And then throughout the whole time, they were just giving us the hearts. They were posing, and they were just saying hi to every single person. So it was a really intimate moment, just being there right in front amongst everyone else who was behind the barricades. Everyone even in the barricades got to be seen too. Nick, he got his fan.
Well, Nick's 7 foot tall, though. Come on, though. That's unfair. Nick's not a good example of someone that could get seen in the bed.
Yeah, but he saw this. He got his mission, completed.
No, of course.
They saw the sign. He worked really hard on that sign. So
yeah, so that was a very intricate sign. Yes,
and then they saw you on the side.
Yeah.
Maya saw you, and actually all the girls saw you because they kept looking, and they were like, Hey,
No, I know. Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
only mentioned my, but I think the only one I didn't get the attention of was Hinata. But like, I didn't want to be like yelling the whole time on the side. Like, I don't want to be that guy. So it was just like when they're glancing over, like I would just, the one thing that I noticed that gets their attention, ALPHAZ, because if you're watching this podcast, you're ALPHAZ, like ALPHAZ, right? The one thing that gets their attention is the Julia thing. You do that, they'll eyes will lock on immediately. So if you guys see the girls and you want to prove that you're ALPHAZ, the Julia hand sign, right? But anyways,
but yeah, we had another moment with Chisa again. Just there was like a good there's a good part of the meet and greet where you just freely just do whatever, right? The girls were just saying hi to everyone all around, and then Chisa pointed out her shirt again, and then we basically had her flex, and I just did like a selfie video of her flexing again. So super special moment.
You got a little crazy there for a second. Everybody was like right on the table at that point. Staff was like, you guys need to back the
Oh yeah. So when that happened, I think but the muscle mother moment, like it happened before the whole group picture. So basically before everything ended, the KCON staff was like, everyone gather around for a group picture. So everyone was backing up towards the panel. And we're like, man, we're actually getting a little bit too close than we're supposed to be, towards XG. But it just worked out because we're there. We're like, Joe got her picture with Jurin.
Yeah.
So her mission's accomplished. And then I had like a small selfie picture and all the girls were looking, but I think Juri and Hinata was looking. But yeah, we were really close. And then at that moment, this is where Chris got his task completed, right? Yeah. So when we're all backed up for the picture, Chris just puts the squirrel on the table and like slide it a little bit closer to Juria. And then Juria like looks down and sees the squirrel like, on the table.
Yeah.
and then what happened from there, I told Juria, like I was just pointing at him like, take the Risu.
It happened pretty quickly. I don't want to slow it down, but like I think when Chris put it down on the table, she had to visually confirm that it wasn't real. Right? Because it's just standing there like, if you put a squirrel down on the table, it's going to run. So she saw it, and then she hesitated for like a microsecond because we made fun of Chris, and Chris got pretty upset. But like she saw it for a microsecond. AJ motioned to it, and then she picked it up, right? But it wasn't like
I basically reassured her that it's a fake squirrel.
It happened pretty quick though. Like she seemed convinced, but it's just, I think seeing it on the table, not moving, okay, I could pick this up.
Yeah. I just think the funniest thing is that like everyone was backed up taking a picture. It was just Chris's moment to just do what he needed to do. So I turned around and I see the squirrel just slid across the table in front of her.
Simon, if you're watching this, I did not approve this. This just happened on its own.
So there was hesitation. There was hesitation throughout the whole thing, but I like reassured her. I'm like, it's a toy squirrel. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to paint it like she didn't want it. She just thought it was real, I think is what the problem was. But then she held it like it was real also afterwards.
Yeah, she held it real. She was showing Jurin, and Jurin started petting it, and then Juria started petting it, and then she sniffed her nose.
And then she was like... Mind you, if this was in South Korea or Japan, none of this would have gotten this far because XGALX staff was actually not in the pen because they definitely would have not let that happen. But it was KCON staff that was there, so it played out. It was a cool moment. Chris Guy's picture, people saw Julia with a very real looking squirrel. But if this happened, and they make it very clear at the meet and greets in Korea and whatever, it's like any gifts that you give to the girls will be discarded. The one that we do know that made its way with the girls was the Chisa bugs, though.
Yeah, it's just paper, printed out paper.
I mean, like she took. Yeah. I mean, we know it's a piece of paper, but then because of the selfie with it, just confirmation. Chisa bugs, or
Chisa bugs.
Kayla.
So Kayla had her.
I now call her Chisa bugs girl. Right, that's it. She lost her name.
It's a
Sorry,
title.
Kayla. Sorry.
It's one of her job titles right now. And she claimed it. She claimed that name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like one of those things where like the whole mustard butter thing, it's like an inside joke, right? Basically ALPHAZ know what it is. from watching the interviews and seeing the pictures and watching like the not the reels, the Instagram stories, right? So it was just one of those things where like they got to see it and they knew that we know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what caught their attention, and that's like a really cool thing that that it just happened that way.
Yeah, because when you reference those things, it's like, oh, they watch our stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Like they're the fans. Like
right.
they're the fans.
It's not like it's just they know when you reference certain things like this. Julia thing wasn't even on like XG Days or Extra XG. It was actually on the Weverse Live, where they were like, "This is Julia's thing, right?" And they said like, if you're real alphas, you'll do this, and like if you do that, they'll notice. And like the Muscle Mother thing was definitely like it was an Instagram reel, right, or story.
Yeah.
And no, it was an interview too.
It was an interview, Instagram story,
and then the filter with the face was when she was doing like pull-ups or something.
Yeah, and they keep bringing it back because they went to Santa Monica Pier where she did like the dead hang.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so there's many instances where like that tag was being used, and
we celebrate Muscle Mother. I need a shirt of that to wear to the gym also. I think I'll go over with the gym folks.
Definitely.
So meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
Risu-gate. I do want to give a disclaimer. Don't start handing Julia real squirrels, please. I gave Chris crap. I was like, why didn't you pick a cute one? Why can't you just be normal and give a cute one? Get one from like the Disney store or something. No, he went and got the realest looking freaking stuffed squirrel he could find. Don't start giving her real Risus, please.
Yeah.
Not that staff would let you, but please.
We knew what happened to the squirrel afterwards.
Yes,
we saw a TikTok of where that squirrel ended up.
She gave it to staff, and where it went from there, we don't know. But
it didn't go to Korea.
I'm pretty sure it would have gotten pulled from the bag if they scanned it.
Yeah,
or check-in would have been freaking. But anyways. That Muscle Mother, yes. Real looking squirrels, no. Okay. Anyways, moving along. KCON Convention Stage. Was there anything else from the meet and greet, AJ, that you want to cover? We're good?
I think after that, we're just starstruck and we're just we're just on our way to the convention floor trying to find a good spot. By that moment, like, it was already packed.
Yes.
It was packed.
Yes. The meet and greet group was there was a lot of people there for the meet and greet. The meet and greet, like around the barrier, was like, I want to say like 6 or 7 rows deep. It was pretty big. But then the convention stage, like you said, the convention was in for like another
it was
3
like
hours, 2 hours,
1 or 2 hours.
I think 2 hours, because it was like almost before closing. No, maybe not before. It was like 5 o'clock, I think. I don't know. Anyways, so after the meet and greet, I'm tired because I was staying the whole time. So I went and made a new friend out in the hurricane. Went outside, and then came back in. And at that point, for the convention stage, I was like, "There's no way I'm getting anywhere near the front." I went in like 30 minutes before XG was going on, and it was just packed.
It was packed.
Ridiculously packed. And we were in the convention, all day 2 for the most part. And, a little bit, most of day 3 also. And like when whoever would go up on stage at the convention, there was always like a good sized crowd. But I honestly, like, not even me being biased, because I took footage of the crowd at XG because I was in the back. I couldn't see the girls really.
Yeah.
But it felt like the entire convention came to a stop when XG was on stage.
Yeah.
Like,
I think 1/3 of the convention floor was looking towards like the showcase stage.
Because so the convention stage is all the way in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like everybody the whole convention, everybody in the convention was in this like first third of the convention floor, right? Like, and it's kind of like, it wasn't the greatest viewing areas because there's these shops in between and it's like you couldn't see over the walls, but they had the screens up and everybody was watching the screens at least too. But it was crazy how many people were there for XG. And mind you, we already saw XG do the show the night before, right? But this was like another show, right?
Another show.
We got, I forgot how many songs that we listened to, but we got Left, Right, Shooting Star. I think we got Move 3.
They open up with Move 3, which was
crazy.
Another surprise, right?
That was so crazy.
Yeah.
And like dude next to me, God bless his soul, was like, what song is this that they're performing? I'm like, Mary J. Blige, dude. Come on. Family Affairs, right? It's not their song. They're just dancing. But he was excited because it's a great song, first of all. But they were doing Move, so, you know.
It was another curveball. Like, you wouldn't expect Nick G to start off with something like that, right? It's the first time they did like an actual Move performance, like live.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't the whole thing. It was like half of it. Yeah, it was half of it.
Which was, you know, appropriate.
Yeah.
But it felt like another concert, honestly.
Yeah. Because following that,
with a hilarious intermission. Hilarious intermission.
Yeah. So they lined up for Shooting Star right after the Move thing. So they immediately transitioned to it, and then this is the song that everyone, like most of XG fans, like know, or people who heard of XG, right? You know, they got to see it, you know, in the convention floor. You get a concert, like a mini concert.
I get, like, because, you know, they only perform 2 songs, so I get why people want them to perform certain songs and everything. But yeah, I mean, like, convention is more the space to just do stuff,
do convention things.
Yeah. And they fan served the crap out of us.
Yeah.
What was after? What was after Shooting Star? I forget. I honestly forgot.
It was Left, Right. It was Left, Right.
Shooting Star, Left, Right.
Yeah.
And then
when they did the whole intermission, Nice to Greet You and stuff. It's
the reverse fan meet and greet, like Harvey fangirling over what's his face? I forget his name already. That was
Patrick. His name is Patrick. Lucky guy.
Famous dude now. People were online were saying it's cringe. I thought it was the most adorable thing ever. Like,
I can guarantee, like, if it would be any other person, they would freak out too, because they wouldn't know what to do. When Harvey tells you to wink, like, you'll be like, which eye to wink, right? Or just couldn't catch it. But yeah, it was a very, like, on the spot moment. Like, it wouldn't be Harvey, it would have been someone else. So, like, putting 2 people on the spot and putting the camera on them,
it was fine.
You can't perfect that.
They were just jealous.
Just like all improv.
They're just jealous. They're just jealous.
So good on Patrick.
It has to be cringe. That's what's funny about it. But anyways,
it was cute.
She did tell Patrick to stop wearing the same shirt every day.
Yeah, no one really caught that until we're like, they're really good with their puns. This is funny.
Yeah,
it's just funny. They have a lot of pun games. It's just yeah.
But then the funny one was the Learn Korean with Maya and Chisa.
Oh yeah,
those videos were hysterical, dude. I watch it every morning just to hype myself up. Those videos are so good. What were the other songs they performed?
They also did TRF and
was it Go Gang?
Go Gang.
TGIF and Go Gang again?
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I might be right. It was still awesome. It was a four song concert songs with a freaking intermission in the middle.
Yeah.
For not free, but $30.
$30.
But you had to, like, get there really early, because we spent all day at we were at the meet and greet. But yeah, half the convention floor over there, crazy. Or not half, the whole convention, like, felt like the whole convention was over there.
Yeah, people started running in to see what's going on. Like,
yeah,
you can hear actually from the other side of the convention.
And I will say though, like Left, Right, and Shooting Star, the fans know those lyrics more than the other songs for sure because they're older, right? But like when those songs came up, everything I do it. Oh, in the feels every time, man.
Reminds me of Hand in the Clouds, New York.
Oh, so loud over there.
Yeah.
We were loud in LA too. It's just we're so far up. Like there was just so many people.
It was hot.
And it was hot.
It was so much.
The sun was just beating down all the sound. But yeah, convention stage was special.
Yeah.
And like I said, dude, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I came into KCON not knowing what to expect because I've never been to a KCON before, right? I've been to an anime convention. I've been to a gaming convention, but, you know, a K-pop convention, like, I didn't know what to expect. I was asking people who've been to previous ones, but the whole idea of just going, mainly for XG and making some stuff out of it, it was like I definitely want to go back again if they show up next year, you know?
Yeah. And we listened to other music too. Like, we got to see Kepler live. That was cool.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Stray Kids performed day 2, I believe. And there was a lot of like, we were there for XG and we got plenty of XG, but we still got to enjoy like other K-pop too. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to see a different groups like really closely. We got to see, I don't know how you say their name, Crazy or Craxy. Like they were there.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's so many, like being in the convention floor, like you don't really know what to expect, but you know that you're gonna have some type of interaction with one of the groups or members and stuff. So it was a really cool thing to just experience overall.
Yeah. I think KCON, like you said, like I didn't know what I was gonna get out of it. If I just saw the girls do show day 2, like I would have been happy, but the convention stage, the meet and greet, show 2.
Spending 10 more.
Let's not talk about it. I already moved on about that. It's going to be such a funny thing when like September 28th comes, when the albums arrive at my door and there's like 20, 40, 28 X and G albums, which is 40 total albums. That's gonna be an unboxing video. We're gonna be doing a giveaway, so like and subscribe.
Yeah, I got 12 albums
to give away.
Yeah, I got 12 albums, so I'm gonna give them to my friends. You know, listen to this. This is actually
Christmas music, dude. Or Christmas music, Christmas presents, right? Yeah. So this was a long podcast episode on just KCON, but I feel like KCON deserved its own episode.
Yeah,
we had plans to cover New Dance and TGC, but I don't think that. We'll save that for
it's fine.
Next episode. Oh man, AJ, anything else?
Yeah, it's just the album's coming out. The mini album's coming out soon. Just everyone who's watching, please continue to support XG. You know, share the music to people who haven't heard it yet. You know, and just be glad that like for the people who are currently ALPHAZ right now, just be glad like where you're at right now, no matter like what you join within the first 2 years, like you can say that you've been through it. Like, you know, you watch their progression from where they debuted to up to where they are right now, because once this mini album comes out, they're just going to keep going up.
I do want to say, and AJ's aware of this, and you know, I'm fully aware of this too, though. Like, we are like in the top 2% of the luckiest MFers when it comes to XG. To be able to see them perform in New York, LA, and KCON, right? Like, there's plenty of ALPHAZ out there that haven't even had the opportunity to see them live, and we've gotten to see them this many times. We know that we're very fortunate to be able to have seen them, and like for them to have been doing so many shows in the United States that we can go to. Because the fact is, like, you know, the K ALPHAZ in Korea, like, you know, they're like, oh, they get to see them at music shows, but really you go through hell trying to get into a music show just to see them perform one song, right? Like, yeah, they don't have to sit in the sun or nothing, but like, we know. And like, if you have an opportunity to see XG live, take it.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate. Just do it. They're going to Japan in November. Thanksgiving weekend. You don't need to do Thanksgiving, guys. Just go to Japan. We'll be there. AJ might go, still confirming with stuff. Me and Chris are going. Emma's going. Just go. Okay? We'll see you there. It's going to be worth it. But yes, if you have an opportunity to see XG live, 100% game changer. Just do it.
Yeah.
Agree?
100%. And also don't bring a real life squirrel.
Don't bring any taxidermy squirrels anywhere near the girls, please. Yeah. Just Chris is going to listen to this episode.
This is like one of the things that can only happen once in a lifetime, and we already use that. So
yeah.
Come up with something different, but don't do real life animals. Don't try to give Maya a bird and scare her. Like, don't do that.
I don't need someone yelling at it. Getting this tied back to us, dude. It's a thing that only Chris can do, and Chris did it, and that's the end of it. Chris is gonna be pissed when he watches this, but Sorry, Chris. I'll buy you some ramen in Japan or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's the end of episode 6. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to our recap of KCON. Crazy weekend. Really fun weekend. AJ, it was great seeing you in LA again the second time. And
second time.
Thanks for taking your time out of your Monday to talk KCON with me.
Definitely, man.
And
There's more to come.
Yes. And with that said, we're not saying OGA to our name. We're just saying, all right?
Yep.
With that said, man, it's so weird trying to say it without it. That I was about to say. With that said, this is Nate.
And this is AJ.
We're OGA signing out. I'll catch you later, ALPHAZ. Have a good week. Peace.
Bye.
I think that rolls off the tongue a lot better.